There's been those reports, of course, that there's crisis talks happening at Camp David about what happens next. I want to ask you, though, there's been a lot of criticism levelled at Jill Biden, particularly there's been some suggestions that she's the one actually pushing for him to continue in the race. Do you think that that criticism of her is fair in the context?
You know, it appears to be she really did not come out looking well at any of the past events where we've seen Biden struggle on a human level. You know, I've got a lot of friends who are not in the weeds. They don't live and breathe this stuff the way you and I do. And the one thing they said to me consistently after watching the debate was, how could somebody do that? You know, it was passing judgment, but how could a wife do that if somebody is at that level of cognitive decline, which we've all experienced, some family member or another go through? And so I don't think that she's coming across very well from a human perspective, fairly or not. I think First Lady Macbeth was trending on Twitter after the debate, which kind of gives a sense of where some people are. Others see her as just very loyal, and she's saying that, you know, he is the rightful nominee. He won all the necessary delegates through their process, and she's not going to be pressured into having him stand down. So it depends how you look at it. But I think net, she is not coming across well just on a human level to most people that I've spoken to.
How do you think the Trump camp would be feeling after the debate? I mean, they didn't really have to do much. I think Joe Biden certainly showed his lack of credibility by himself. But do you think that they would be thinking, well, this is a win? I mean, Trump's got his own issues. How do you think they'll be feeling?
I think they saw it as definitely a win, just in terms of that convergence that I mentioned of the high information consumers and low information consumers coming together. He really laid bare or ripped the mask off for the wide swath of the public. Something like 50 million people tuned in live, and another 200+ million people on the various social media platforms watched those key clips that went viral afterwards. So this is now out in the open, the cognitive decline issue, and that can only help him. On the other hand, you know, many would say that the Trump camp gave Joe Biden a free pass, because typically the debates don't happen in June this early when the nominees aren't officially confirmed. And if he ends up not being the nominee, then Trump just debated somebody who's not even the nominee. So there is an argument that it happened too soon. And if this leads to a switch out with somebody more formidable, that could potentially backfire for him. But I think net, he felt that it was time, or the Trump team felt it was time to expose this very blatant issue to the American people. And, you know, that's the move he made. And right now he's only up and up in the polls since that debate.
Well, he certainly, you know, he didn't even have to try, really. I mean, Joe Biden struggled from the very moment he opened his mouth. Do you think that we will see another debate between the two of them, or is it safe to say it's all but ruled out?
I would be surprised. Right now, officially, there's going to be this debate in September, and as of this hour, President Biden is defiant, says he's not backing out of the nomination, and he will do that debate. I'm not sure that it's in the interest of the Trump team to do another debate, because it'll be more of the same, and they accomplish their goal of exposing the feebleness and the cognitive decline of the president to the American people, and I'm not sure that there's any merit or value in them doing another one in September. If they switch Biden out, of course, then it's a whole other ballgame.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, before we let you go, the younger and now convicted Biden has spoken out to support his father. Hunter is pushing for his father to stay in the race and claims that it was a bad night for him, and he wishes that people could see the scrappy and command of the facts man he knows. I can't imagine that the support of a recent convict is going to do much for the US president either, but I guess we can't be surprised that the family is rallying around Biden at this point.
Yeah, there's something about family solidarity and loyalty that you know, has an appeal, and on a human level, people can understand that and appreciate that. Hunter Biden obviously is has a very checkered reputation in the public eye right now, as do many of the other Bidens in the family. Some cynical people are saying that a part of the reason is self-preservation, because he is a convicted felon now. He's got another case on the docket in September, and if his father remains president, then there's a pathway to receiving a pardon for any sentence that he would serve, even though the president has said he would not pardon him. That remains, so maybe that's coloring it. Maybe it's a mix of family solidarity, who knows? But I agree with you. I don't think that's going to move the needle much in terms of regaining the faith of the American people.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's been a fascinating few days, but that debate was just uncomfortable from start to end. Kosha Garter, great to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure.